Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I am HyperJetXA and welcome back to Nekopara Volume 1. Last episode we did some shopping, we caught up on our knowledge for taking care of our cat girls, we kind of teach both Chocola and Vanilla to act like proper poster girls by practicing their greetings. And then one thing led to another, some custard fell on them, we took a bath with them. Oh god, I hope I don't have to censor that part. But I'm gonna have to check back on that every now and then. But looks like it's finally sundown and I think we just made some dough for the sponge cake and it has a good consistency. So, without further ado, let's continue on the journey. I covered a bowl of dough with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator. It's not like we'll have a packed house on opening day, so this much dough should be enough. All that was left was to be prepared for when the bakery actually opens. Okay, the only thing that still needs to be done is to cut up the fruit for the toppings and then I'm done. I stretched and then looked at the clock. The hour hand had already moved from 11 o'clock to midnight. Chocolate, vanilla, I'm almost done, so you two can go and sleep first. Hmm? Oh, that's so cute. They're sleeping while standing at the same time. It's kinda really adorable um, when you see a 4-year-old or maybe a toddler sleeping while standing at the same time as well in real life. You get when you're gonna have to tuck them in. I looked over my shoulder to see the two of them sleeping fitfully on the sofa. Oh, I guess they're not standing then. So they're just sleeping on the sofa. Maybe Vanilla's making a making a body pillow out of chocolate again. They lean against each other cozily, smiling as if in the middle of a wonderful dream. And they said they'd be awake until finished. They'd been full of activity since the morning, so they were probably exhausted. I crouched down and poked both of their cheeks.
はい、いらっしゃいませ。カレイユの看板猫のショコラです。ご主人、包丁売り切れた。ケーキも早く次焼いて。ハリーハリー。
Chocolate and Vanilla were one step ahead, acting as waitresses in their dreams. It sounded like they were in a rush, as if Lazare was packed. They really are still children, aren't they? They were cute, like children excited before the start of a trip. I gently rubbed them both on the head, and then yeah, and then the sweet smell of their leave-in hair treatment tickled my nose. Come on, you two. You can't sleep here, okay? You're going to bed.
お仕事中にお触りはダメですよ、ご主人様。
Wow. Even while sleeping, Chocolate really wants the D, isn't she?
セクハラ。ご主人、そういうのはお客にしちゃダメ。私ならそこそこ我慢してあげるから。
What are you two talking about? It didn't look like they had any intention of waking up. Without any other choice, I picked them up one at a time and carried them to the bedroom.
主人様。ショコラ。
You two really are a handful. I covered the two closely curled up catgirls with a blanket. Once more, I gently rubbed their heads before I quietly closed the bedroom door. Okay, just one last bit. Alone in the living room, I stretched and took a deep breath. I need to work even harder tomorrow, for Chocola and Vanilla's sake too. As I murmured the names of my freshest family members, I stretched my hands out and continued my preparations.
Nekopara!
Alright, opening time.
ご主人様、お店に近づく人影ありです。戦闘態勢はいいですか？ Are you ready? 先にこっちから捕まえに行った方が早い。うまくやるから私に任せて。
Wait. It's only been 5 minutes since we opened. The two of them hid by the window as if stalking prey. Even though we finally opened, there were, unsurprisingly, no customers waiting to come in. I placed my elbows on the counter while I gazed at the backs of the two catgirls. It's fine if you wait for the customers to come in before interacting with them. If you brace yourself like that from the start, then you'll get tired quickly.
バニラ見て、あそこ歩いてる女の人。
Should I adjust the bounciness of the chest bounciness feature? I think it's a bit too much. Nah, I'll keep it at that.
すごく甘いもの好きそうなスイーツ顔してるよ。もうスイーツ。でもショコラ、それあまり褒め言葉じゃないから、お客さんの前では気をつけるがよろしい。
Not that she can hear you. The two catgirls didn't so much as turn an ear in my direction. Well, to see them that hopeful for customers did pain me a bit as their owner. Well, since we just started, we should be patient.
失礼するぞ。いらっしゃいませ。いらっしゃいませ。
Calm down. It's just one person. You don't need to be nervous.
なんですか？ご注文はにゃんでしょうか？おすすめはあれです。あれです。ケーキ。
Alright.
紅茶もあるの。そのあったかいのと冷たいのと、熱いのと冷たいのと。
Kinda reminds me of my first interview when finding a job. You're getting a nervous breakdown. Will you two calm down? I pulled them back after they quickly set themselves upon the customer who just walked in. I'm terribly sorry for that. I'm the owner of this bakery, Minaduki. It's still a weird name to pronounce. It's still weird for me to pronounce that name, Minaduki. Well, I kinda want to pronounce it as Minazuki, but let's just see then. Our menu is over here. Please pursue it at your leisure. this.
ふむふむ。立地といい色使いといい、なかなか素晴らしい店構えじゃのう。
Who could this girl be? Was I too sarcastic by that voice?
内観のセンスもシンプルを基調に、小物なども落ち着く空間作りで素晴らしい。
There were an uncharacteristically large pair of glasses that didn't suit her face or build. Then there was her anachronistic. Oh shit. Finally, there was her grandiose way of speaking, which didn't match the familiar voice.
ふむ、気に入った。ここにあるケーキは全部わしが買おうではないか。
You gonna have a party at your house or something? How many kids do you have anyway?
さあさあ店主、ありったけケーキを詰めるがいい。あ、カードって使えますよね。
Shigure? What are you doing?
はっは、しぐれとは何ぞ。お主、誰かと勘違いしてるようじゃの。
You know Shigure, for having a disguise like that, anyone would notice that kind of disguise, you know. Say what you like, but that's your name.
そんなプリッチーで一途な兄様の妹のような娘っ子がこんなところにおるはずないではないか。よいよい、無礼は気にするでないぞ。せっかくの開店日に水を差すような真似はしたくないからの。
In that case, would you cut the crazy routine? Besides, how did you even know where my bakery is? I didn't tell anyone.
とりあえず黙ってありったけのケーキをよこすがよい。いいねで買おう。早くせい。
What? Now you're a robber? You need to buy some constants or something.
客をより好みするとは何たることじゃ。そんな態度では毎日通って開店と同時に買い占めてくれる乗客を逃してしまいますぞ。商売とは稼げる時には非常にでも稼がねば成り立たぬのです。それに兄様にそんな冷たい目で見られたら悲しいのです。これでも何か力になれればと思って今日まで我慢をしましたのに。
Look, I'm not being picky here. Not only had she now burst in tears, but her facade was in shambles. I had no clue what to say.
しぐれちゃんだ。久しぶり。元気にしてた？しぐれ？何その格好、流行ってるの？こら、わしはしぐれちゃんではな。もっと引っ張るでな。
Uh-oh, new one.
よう、数日ぶりだな、ショコラ、バニラ。あら、それが制服？かわいいじゃない。孫にも衣装って感じで。
Alright, so we have Azuki and Maple here. Some pretty high class Catgirls, if you could say so. If I do say so myself. Well, since you've come here for the first time, I guess you could, we're gonna have our own, what should I call it? What's that word again? Yes. We need to do some commencement rights here right now. Come on. That's it. Alright. One more. Alright. Gonna move on right now.
バニラちゃんは元気そうでよかった。
I feel like that those huge melon of yours are gonna burst out any moment right now.
急にいなくなっちゃうから心配したんだよ。
And so is
そう
this
だよ。
one.
すごく心配したんだよ。カショウ様についてくなら一言言ってくれればよかったのに。
Before we continue, I just want to say, what's the appeal with cinnamon anyway? I've seen a lot of people who are identifying themselves as sort of cinnamon lovers. I'm more of a coconut guy for myself. No, I'm kind of digging this sort of Gyaru outfit. You know, with this very revealing outfit. Just saying, it's my personal preference. Well, I guess for most people, for most guys who would go for the one with the huge assets. Let's call it that. Yeah. For huge assets for front and back. Yeah. Most men will probably go with that. But as for me, I kind of go for the opposite side of the spectrum. You know. Even though my preference is kind of bit for 50-50, so to speak. I like girls with big boobs, but I also kind of like girls with small boobs. You know, there's no such thing as the dominant boob size, but that's just me.
ごめんね、ついつい勢いでのことだったから。また会えたから問題ない。みんな元気そうで何より。猫たちも感動の再会を喜んでいるようで何よりですね。
There she is. This sort of the forbidden door, so to speak. The forbidden route for this visual novel. The very adorable, very loving IMOUTO. I'm kinda hoping on the third volume. Well, fingers crossed, okay? Fingers crossed that we may have a Shigure route. Well, not too extreme or whatever. Just a little bit to spice the ones with a very, very unique preferences on romance. Just like myself. The best, you say. Suddenly, the bakery was at max capacity. Not to mention, they were all my family. Uninvited family at that.
お久しぶりです、兄様。元気そうで安心いたしました。
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot about cinnamon and coconut's commencement. Wink, wink. Well, since you're here, Shigure, we're gonna have yours. Come on. Do that? Yeah. It's kind of boring when the model does it. When there's no merchandise to take a look at. As usual, Shigure smiled and greeted me with polite words. My little sister is, as a rule, calm and courteous. There are times when she acts strange though. It's only been a few days. How did you even find this place? What did it tell you?
実の妹に愚問です、兄様。一言で言えば、妹の愛にございます。
Look, I don't have time for that stuff right now.
まるで芸風のように言うのはやめてください。しぐれは本気ですのに。よ。
Shigure placed her hand over her mouth. A piece of paper fell from her kimono onto the ground. What is that?
素敵なショップカードにございますね。さすがは兄様です。
Wait, I haven't distributed this yet. As I said that, I suddenly realized something. This is your doing, isn't it, Vanilla?
引っ越しの時に送り出してくれた取引。だから仕方ない。
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily evil, since this family is so blessed with so many adorable catgirls. Yeah, I'll just say adorable. I wouldn't have to make any kind of assumptions for this early. So when she disappeared at the drugstore the other day, she had to slip out to send the car to Shigure, huh? That's why she had said, objective achieved, and evaded my question. So earlier, when I couldn't get a hold of you, and Chocola and Vanilla were stowing away in the boxes, this was all part of your plan?
はい、その通りにございます。決してショコラやバニラが悪いわけではないのです。ですから、攻めるならこの妹目をソフトめな言葉攻めにてお願いします。ちょっと強気めで。
What do you mean, firm-knit kind? Sometimes, I have no idea what my little sister is talking about. Well, she's always been like this, so I let it slide. Still, well, it was also wrong of me to move out without saying anything to you. I awkwardly scratched my cheek while looking away. She's been such a clingy, adoring little sister in the past that people even made fun of her for it. And this is why I had to use such a roundabout, high-handed tactic. In a sense, she worried about me more than she even Chocola and Vanilla. That's why I didn't really feel like complaining.
兄様、はい。しぐれは兄様のことをとても心配しておりました。ご健勝で何よりです。
It's only been a few days, so nothing's really happened. Shigure had a gallant smile on her face as I rubbed her head. She let out a small laugh and smiled. It must have felt as good for her as it does for the Catgirls.
ああ、カショ水くせえだろ。しぐれも他人じゃねえんだからさ。しぐれはここ数日本当に気が気じゃなかったんだぞ。
Oh really? Is it good or bad to have that kind of little sister for you guys? Well, not in real life, of course, since as we all know, this kind of preference for 2D girls only. So no 3D girls already?
私たちの飯を忘れるくらい。
ねえ、ほんと困っちゃったわよ。檻に入れられた動物みたいに部屋の中をぐるぐる回ってはため息でさ、連絡先教えるくらいすればいいのに。そんなに私たちと縁を切りたかったなら別だけど。
どうせあれだろ、一人で何も言わず去ってこれかっこいいとか思ってたんだろ。
ああ、ありそうありそう。人の男って本当にめんどくさいわよね。
The two of them deliberately raised their hands and grinned at me bitterly. Azuki and Maple were making a bit too harsh. But even so, I didn't try to argue it. Sorry about that, Azuki, Maple. I really feel guilty enough as it is, so lay off, okay?
でもあずちゃんのメイ ちゃんもとっても心配してたんですよ。2匹ともしぐれちゃんのパソコンとか携帯電話で歌唱さんの名前を必死に検索したりしてね。
Alright, before we do any more talking, we're gonna have to give you're gonna have to give your own comments and tries here, okay? So what? Oh god. Shit. Alright, that's enough. Or else I'm gonna be so addicted to this.
2匹とも素直じゃないからね、年長者の割に。私もいざとなったらしぐれ様の代わりに自分の足で探すつもりだったよ。
Cinnamon, coconut, I'm sorry to have worried you guys too. It won't happen again, so please cut me some slack. I lowered my head towards Cinnamon and Coconut. Those huge coconuts. And just like that, all the Catgirls in my family were assembled. I appreciated the warmth of having my family here right now.
お父様の耳には入らないようにしておきますのでご安心ください。
Ah, I appreciate it. You've been through a lot too. Sorry.
そんなことは何も。私はいつでも兄様を見てきましたし、これからも応援していますから。
She wrapped her small hands around my hand. She didn't say anything about me sleeping out without telling anyone. She seemed to just forgive me. Even my little sister seems to have grown up as well. Flawless at that.
でもお母様は兄様のことをとても心配していらっしゃいますよ。落ち着いたら一方だけでも連絡をしてあげたら安心すると思います。
Alright, I'll do that.
はい、では約束の指切りです。
We linked our pinky fingers together. When we were little, we always made promises with the pinky swear. Shigure smiled like a mischievous child once we're done this. It was rather cute.
でも兄様のソフトな言葉攻めも少し期待はしていたのですが。
Tell me, Shigure, what kind of scolding do you really want anyway? With that kind of very extreme, let's say romance here, brother, I'd say you kind of go for the SMN, SNFA, huh? Man, I'm gonna keep imagining that for the rest of the day. My wonderful little sister is so spoiled. Well, even so, she's still my little sister. Things always seem to go this way between us, so we didn't mind.
でも本当に立派で素敵なお店ですね。もう兄様が隠れてケーキ作りをしなくても良いのだと思うとしぐれまで嬉しくなってしまいます。
You and the Catgirls have been helping destroy all the evidence, though.
家の和菓子も好きですけども、兄様のケーキは世界で一番ですから。これでもう本当に兄様が家には戻らないと思うと寂しさで胸が締め付けられてしまいますが。
Yeah, you're the kind of IMOUTO who's gonna die without any kind of contact from his brother.
でもきっとこのお店もたくさんのお客様に愛していただけることでしょう。
She said that with a slightly troubled smile. Shigure, Chocola, and Vanilla said the same thing with the same smile. It would be nice if everything would go that smoothly. Just like before with Chocola and Vanilla, I rubbed her head and said the same thing I had told them.
わあ、私洋菓子店の厨房は初めて拝見しました。やはり水無月家の和菓子の厨房とは置いてあるものが違うのですね。
She Shigure seemed really intrigued as she looked around at the mixers, rollers, and other tools in the kitchen. There was a lot of similar equipment, of course, but there were minute differences.
兄様はこちらでケーキをお作りになるのですね。和装の兄様の垂涎者でしたが、パティシエバージョンも女心にキュンキュンくるものがあります。
No, that's just you, Shigure.
許されることであれば、ライブカメラを設置して、兄様のお姿を24時間めでられるようにしたい。
Uh-oh, stalker alert, stalker alert! And you're my little sister! That's not... Shit, forget the word. That's not allowed here, okay? There's no way I'd be okay with that. See, even he doesn't want that. Not that there was any way I'd be baking for 24 hours straight. As usual, my little sister said some pretty questionable things. Either that or you're just fucking dense, Kashou.
でも、チョコラもバニラも元気そうで安心しました。兄様ならきっと受け入れてくれると疑っておりませんでしたが。
Shigure took the book on raising catgirls that had been left in the kitchen and giggled. I'm just learning, so there's still lots of stuff I don't understand. Once I'd read the book, I realized once again that my family's catgirls were particularly excellent. Apparently, the fact that they were fluent in our own language and able to live comfortably with humans made them quite exceptional. The more I realized how much of an education freak you are, and just how well you raised them.
厳しいしつけも愛情あってこそですから、猫たち自身のためにもです。
She spoke to her mother, closing her eyes and tapping her chest proudly. Yeah, her non-existent chest. Although she was young, I could see that she was reliable and confident enough to raise 6 catgirls. Seeing that unexpected side of Shigure made me proud to be her older brother. I would take responsibility and act as a good owner.
はい、しぐれは兄様のことは何一つ疑っておりませんから。でも、お店で働かせるのなら、ちゃんと資格を取らせないとですね。
Qualifications? Are you talking about a cooking certification?
違いますよ、兄様。そうではなくてですね。猫を単独行動させたり、従業員として扱うには、対象の猫に単独行動許可証という資格が必要なのです。許可証なく外を歩いたりしたらば、猫は警察に補導されてしまいますから、それに許可証なく従業員としては使えません。無料のお手伝い程度ならまた別の話なのですが。
A permit? But our family's catgirls have never had one of those when they leave home, right? I try to remember the times when our family's catgirls went out while under Shigure's watch. I really didn't recall seeing any of sort of permits.
ちゃんと全員いつでも持っていましたよ。では兄様、どうぞこちらへ。
At Shigure's urging, we stepped out of the kitchen. Wow, so the bell is the permit?
まあ、猫として鈴くらいは持ってないとね。
It's kind of sad that Azuki is a munchkin. Even she's the oldest, she's the oldest, but she's also the shortest. She's gonna have so much of an, let's say, complex about her size. That also applies to some of the girls I see in anime a lot. You know, like, let's see, like Taiga from Toradora, and then we have Nico from Love Live. Some of the oldest girls are also some of the shortest.
自由に 外も歩けないなんて不便でしょうがないし。
あたしらは猫の中でも選ばれし猫ってわけよ。そんじょそこらの猫とは違えってわけだ。一応合格割合は10匹に1匹くらいって言われてますからね。
Those are not very good odds, right?
もうゴリゴリってくらい勉強も大変でしたよ。
しぐれ様の猫なのに鈴持ちでないなんて、それはご主人様に恥をかかせてしまうことだからね。
Everyone proudly shook their bells. I never knew the bell had that sort of meaning. I thought it was just Shigure's preference. Yeah. So you're taking Shigure's very kinky little motto, right?
猫の身分証明書代わりになりますし、これがあると何かと便利なのですよ。人の集まるペット禁止の施設やイベントでも問題なく入れますし、他にも GPS 機能で迷子にもならないですしね。
Very high tech. I kind of wish we had IDs with GPS as well. You know, in real life, you don't need to have any sort of weird application on your phone. Just if you don't have your phone, then you just have your ID with a GPS on it. I think it's quite convenient. Yeah, it's quite convenient to have that kind of feature.
自分の店内で少し働かせるくらいで文句は言われないですが、従業員としてちゃんと使うならば資格は取らせた方が良いかと。
I see. There's a lot to deal with when it comes to Catgirls. As an owner, I'd better take everything Shigure was teaching to me to heart.
ショコラとバニラもそろそろ鈴を取らせようかとは思ってはいたのですよ。ですからこれもちょうど良い機会かもしれませんね。ね、ショコラ、バニラ。ご主人様のお役に立てるのでしたら頑張ります。これでみんなと一緒にお出かけもできる。仲間外れは寂しい。もちろん飼い主である兄様の協力も必須ですからね。
Yeah, just pampering them won't do any good, right?
その通りです。人間社会の常識を身につけることによってもっと豊かな生活を送れるのです。はーい、ショコラも鈴持ちになってご主人様と遊園地とか行きたいです。私は遊園地もいいけど水族館に行きたい。イルカとかペンギンとかシロナガスクジラとか見たい。
There aren't any aquariums that have blue rays though.
うんうん、私も鈴をもらう前は留守番とかもあったから寂しい気持ちはよくわかるよ。応援してるから一発合格できるように頑張ってね、ショコラ、バニラ。
これだから頭でっかちなメインくんは困るよな。
Uh-oh. I think we're gonna have a cat fight. Pun intended though.
別に合格さえすりゃ回数が問題じゃねえんだよ。もらえる鈴は同じなんだしよ。それが唯一の自慢とか。乳臭いガキすぎてお里が知れるわ。離乳食でも食ってろっつうの。
自分は試験に2回も落ちたからってひがむことないんじゃない？はあ、もしかしてその短い手足が実技で不利だったの？
なんだとこら！これがマンチカンのアイデンティティなんだよ。ガキが猫語るなんて2000万年早えんだよ、このダボハゼが。
無駄に年だけ取ってる猫に先輩面されたくないね。尊敬されたければそれだけの価値のある背中を見せてほしいな。
喧嘩はダメだってば。二人とも落ち着いてね。そうだよ。あまりストレス溜めると円形脱毛症になっちゃうよ。あ、そうだ。こないだご主人様が買ってくれたおもちゃがあるんだよ。
小豆もココナッツも本当に飽きないわね。毎日毎日。もう暴れるなら埃立つから外でやってよね。外で。
水無月家の平常運転だね。それ以上でも変わらず。
Yeah, you kind of hear that, right? It says that the written words says Minaduki, but when they pronounce it, it's Minazuki. So sometimes I'm very confused how do you spell or pronounce it right? That's just me, okay?
メイプル、紅茶入れてあげる。何がいい？おすすめはダージリソ。
バニラは素直で可愛いわね。じゃあおすすめちょうだい。あと名称はダージリンね。
オッケー、任せといて。お客さんとして初入れはメープルに捧ぐ。
Yeah, I don't think you can say anything with that kind of situation. Just let it happen in these kind of cases. Seen from this angle, none of this seemed particularly intelligent. The only accurate thing Vanilla said was this was a normal day for the Minaduki family. But it did make me think that things would be better outside instead.
はい、喧嘩は終わりですよ。はい。
You know, this is a very, very perfect opportunity to use the very specific key. You know? Yeah. Some of you need to exercise, like you, cinnamon, coconut. Yeah, just jiggle those jokes. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna stop.
兄様の新たな門出の日に喧嘩とはどういうことですか？そんなことでは鈴持ちの水無月の猫として恥ずかしいことですよ。ショコラたちまだ鈴持ちじゃないけどね。
だからまだ恥ずかしくない。
Vanilla, that's not the point.
私は喧嘩してないし。おバカたちのせいでこんなとばっちりな。
だとてめえ、実は一番ビビりで情けないくせに余裕ぶりやがって。
夜トイレに行くときは部屋と廊下の電気全部つけていかないとダメなくせにね。にゃー、私は夜行性とか夢とかそういうホーモンに流されない猫だって言ってんでしょ、このバカに私が。
そんなところがめいちゃんの可愛いところですからね。
I agree. 100% I agree. That's kind of cute.
普段のタカビも可愛く見えてしまうというか。
くしゃー、魔法少女みたいな格好してるくせに私のことバカにして。魔法となさせて YouTube に動画アップするわよ。
YouTube.
ひどい。インターネットの海に放流したら一生消えないんですよ。それに魔法少女だってしぐれちゃんが似合うって言ってくれてるんですからいいじゃないですか。にゃーん。
That's kind of cute. That's kind of expression.
静粛に静粛に。繰り返しますが、今日は兄様の新たな門出記念日、私の新たな祝日が生まれた日です。そしてここにあるケーキは先ほど全部私めが買わせていただきました。
Jeez, how rich is this planet? Can you adopt me?
よって今日だけは猫たちも好きなだけ食べていいですよ。
マジでかしぐれ、ニコ食いとかしてもいいのか。
全部食べ放題ってことはワンホール全部食べてもいいってこと？
Yeah, she bought them all. Huh? Wait, Shigure-san?
ケーキならお茶はアールグレーにしてもらえる？ああ、もちろん温度はぬるめにしてね。
はーい、お任せあれ。ご主人様もしぐれちゃんも紅茶でいいよね。私も手伝う。看板猫として初働き。はーい、じゃあ私は外に売り切れ閉店の紙貼ってくるね。
What do you mean sold out, huh? Well, the cakes are not the only thing on sale right now, if you know what I mean. No, hey! Wait a minute! Hey! I said wait a moment!
兄様、妹めはあーおあーお不毛にございます。お買い上げサービスにそのくらいのサービスはしてもいいと思うのです。あーおめえなこれ。
Easy on the... Easy, easy. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
カショのやつもなかなかやるじゃねえか。
Jeez.
まさか僕の猫背にケーキワンホール食べれる日が来るなんて。
幸せ。
僕は今猛烈に幸せだ。いい香り。やっぱり猫舌にはぬるめよね。お茶受けにアップルパイちょうだい。
私焼きたてのアップルパイが食べてみたかったんです。カショさん、ご賞ですからお願いします。ご主人様、シュークリームがもうなくなっちゃいました。至急増産をお願いします。ビシご主人、茶葉のストックに手が届かない。取って。
Do what you like. Don't mind me. And just like that, half an hour into opening day, and suddenly there was a sold out sign on the door of my bakery.
Nekopara.
Whew. That's a very long half an hour or more at least. Well, just like they say, time flies when you're having fun. Well, I'm gonna end this video right here. As always guys, thank you guys for watching. So, as always, hit that like button, leave a comment if you like, and don't forget that subscribe button. Give it some love. And as always guys, I'm going to see you the next time on my video. This is HyperDriveXA signing off.